Okay, so let's look at the GU dollar correlation first. And I'm gonna get rid of this stuff so we can start from scratch. Let's look at, oops. GU. All right. Get rid of that stuff. So looking at the daily, we are sitting inside of this little imbalance. And this might be something differently for us to look at, right? We got this imbalance that we just reacted from, right? And then we had this low that we just took out a few days ago over here. So they took the liquidity right here and they left this liquidity right here. And then they left this one right here, this area right here. So we really will need to work in between these two areas right here, from this high to this low, right? And we came and filled up half of this, right about half. That's where this wick is right here, right about half of this imbalance, right? So now we need to see, are they going to try to take this lower to take this out, or do they want to go back up and take out these equal highs right here? That's right around this area, pretty much right here. Or will we trade sideways into this range? Because we got this order block that's sitting right here on the daily. So this is going to be basically where we kind of play in, right? We got money here. We got money here. And on the lower time frames, we got some money here, right? So going into it, the lower time frames, we just going to base our trade off of this area that we just took into consideration. So we got our high right around here. We got another low here, right at this order block right here. So we can operate in this area. Little imbalance right here, but that probably will open up at 5, and we can look to see if they want to take that. And then we got this swing low right here. Measure this little range. We already came back to 618 already. So I like to see them try to push this back up a little bit into this little small order block right here and see how we react to that level. So when we open up tonight, that's what I'll be looking at to see what it does. We got seller side liquidity right here. On the 4-hour, 1 hour, what do we look like over here? Pretty much lining up with the 4-hour. Nothing different. I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit. We'll go ahead and label this. Then over here, still seeing that imbalance right here, order block right here in this area. And we just kind of holding, right? So we still functioning within that range. Now, usually when I look at dollar, look at GU, I'm going to look at dollar as well. So now that we kind of know what's going on with GU, I'm going to jump over to dollar real quick. I'm going to send you these charts right here. Let's go here. This the daily. So 1 hour. $15. Okay. Now let's look at dollar and see what we got on dollar. So on dollar, we just hit some weekly levels and monthly levels. So we need to look at the monthly. If you look at the monthly, you can see where all of these little wicks came from prior to this run up, this little imbalance right here. Right? This imbalance that was left here, we had this wick high, and then we had another rejection right here, but it looks like we traded through it, right? So overall on the monthly, I'm kind of looking for a continuation. Like I would actually like to see it come back into this level, like it, or just around this high and hold it, and if we hold it, we keep pushing up higher, right? Keep pushing up higher. And there's another little imbalance from the monthly that's gotten left behind right here. Monthly right here. And we already rejected it a long time ago over here. And that's what I think that is targeting right now. And with all the news about the feds raising the rates and stuff like that, that should probably get us in this areas. That should probably get us in this area right here, especially with them being comfortable with raising the interest rate up to 75 basis points. I think that should push us into this because that's going to make dollar stronger, right? That's going to make dollar stronger. And that means that if dollar is stronger, that means GU, EU will be weaker. So that's what I'm going to look for overall, like for over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. This might be what you guys hear from me saying for the rest of that, for the next couple of weeks on dollar, especially if we can hold in this area like we already tried to do right here. And you can see on the chart, on this daily chart, you can see on this daily chart that we held inside of this imbalance that's right here. We made the low and we already kind of pushed up to hold this area right here. And that's kind of what I wanted to see from a dollar. And I think that, we don't need to really pay attention to the lower time frames on dollar. I think we kind of need to focus on higher time frame dollar, because higher time frame dollar is where we are actually seeing that we are moving from. Because look at this. We only had 1, 2, 3 moves before we had a down move over here. 3 down days and this move up. And then we had this one pullback and it held. So it's not really showing any signs that it wants to come down. So I'm going to just assume that because of that, and because of what's going on with the interest rate, they're going to keep us going up. So this is going to be dollar. Keep this in mind. We can go to the lower time frames, but the real setup is off of these higher time frames for dollar. Like I don't even want to go over the lower time frames, because I think higher time frame is kind of mapping out everything we need for dollar. So and then EU, similar situation as GU. It's pretty much met everything that I was looking for last week when we went over it. Not this week, but last week, because we didn't go over it last time. I didn't go over it. Last time was the session we did on level 2 reading, which I don't know if y'all got it, but for you guys that were on there, I hope you learned some stuff. So we held this area that's like highlighted right here is off of a larger time frame zone. This little weekly right here. This weekly imbalance right here. That we got between 1.036 to 1.028. And we pretty much came down right to the middle for the most part. We missed the middle by a couple of pips. So with that being said, we pretty much reach down into this once here, and then we tap the top of it. We could see if dollar, like I said, if dollar keeps pushing up, we can see this dig down further into this to get us down to 1.0325 area. 1.0325 area is just above this. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for right now, because if dollar is going to push up, then we'll have this push down into that. So that's my first logic. And we have some confirmation so far, because we've had dollar EU respond to this area of imbalance right here already. We came up with this and then we already start to drop. So I'm going to say that I'm going to be looking for EU to pull down into this to take out this liquidity right here. That's right here on this into this 1.0325 area. So yeah, you always got to keep learning. You always got to keep learning. I'm gonna send you guys this video that Alfredo sent me, because he and I were talking about the level 2s too, and he found this video about it, Bitcoin. So I want you guys to check that out. I don't know how much I'm going to use that, but it's definitely interesting to see Definitely interesting to see that correlated basically with what we were talking about. So with dollar going up, I'm thinking GU, EU come down into this area of liquidity to take out these lows right here down to 2.5 area. So it's looking like we lining up with this on the lower time frames. It might take us a little while longer. So this might be something that it may come down, or it may want to push up into this first beforehand. But for now, this is what it looks like for me. So for us to come down into this, take this out, and then maybe get a push up from there. So I'm gonna send you guys the daily on that. If it comes to a point where we just push up into this, if we don't react to this, then we can hang on to that idea that it comes back up, that it goes down for now. 4 hour. Another thing I was going to talk about was, look, notice how like you can kind of project where your highs and your lows are going to be based off of where imbalances are and your order blocks. Like most times, you're going to have a high or a low created inside of imbalance or at an order block. So when you see those, you can kind of get an idea of where the levels are could be. And usually they'll line up with your fib levels as well, right? So this imbalance right here, if we measure this high to this low, we can see that not only does it line up with the fib level, but there's the imbalance right there. So we pretty much came up to the 50% on this, rejected it right here. And there's an imbalance right there. The high is just below the 618. And if we actually measure from this low, you got it right at that point right there. So that's why I always like kind of go over that multiple times, because I want you guys to see, like, that's how I kind of can see where the levels should go. Even like even if we don't go down from here immediately, we still have 618. There's an order block right there. The 70 and 786, there's an imbalance right there. So that could be a level that, we may need to come back up to. And even as high as the 886, which is right around here. I don't have it on this fib. Let me throw it on there anyway. Even as high as the 886, there's an order block and there's the monthly right there. So even if we do start to push up, look at all that we would have to get through to get back above any of this stuff, right? Without going back down to take this out first. So, it's always good to kind of see that kind of stuff. So I'm actually going to leave that on the chart so you can see that. From a lower time frame standpoint, we could push up into this 618 70 area, but I think eventually we all aim to get back down to this 30 this 1.3025 area, because We didn't leave these equal lows here for no reason. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, especially if dollar remains strong as it is. So that's why we're going to stick with that opinion. And I'll leave this up to you for you guys to go over UCAD and use Swiss, because if you understand GU and EU, you do the opposite on UCAD and you Swiss. You follow the dollar on UCAD and you Swiss. You just follow it. It's going to go in the same direction. So we'll get to indices. Touch this chart in a couple of days. We didn't come back and get these highs, but that's okay. We did leave this imbalance right here, which will be the first area to consider on the daily. We got imbalances on each one of them on the daily. I'm going to try to go over all of these at the same time because it's pretty much the same thing. Okay. This did great last week. All right, so now notice on each one of these, we got our imbalance here, here, and then we got one over here on SPX. Each one. So do we have to come back up there to these larger imbalances, right? There is one here and here and here that is already reacted to. So we may not come back to this, but it is there for us to make sure that we know that is there. We got to know that that's there because it may want to respond to that again. We already came up to the middle on each one of them pretty much right here of this one, and on this one on US 30. We pretty much came up to the middle on each one of them, right? But the interesting thing about these, right? And I already got it noted on US 30 is this fib right here is annotating a larger time frame order block or a imbalance. I don't know which one of it is because I don't have it marked, but we can go look. Let's see. That was an order block. This order block right here. And interestingly, we just trade it straight through this, right? So where would it be? Where would a target be other than this was our old 2020 high right here? Matter of fact, let's go ahead and put a label. This is the 2020 high. So we are literally only about from this close, we're literally only 61 pips away from 2020 high. So that's going to probably give a nice bounce, even if it doesn't go back up for a real move back up, but just like, just because people will see that, that's going to give us another bounce. And we got this order block right here, and we got this imbalance that's right here. So these are going to be areas that if it doesn't bounce right here, we should see it at least respond to one of these three areas. The order block that's right here. Or our levels of imbalance that's right here. And I know I need to go back. Let me go back real quick. So if we keep going down, these are going to be our targets. These are going to be our key areas we need to focus on if we keep dropping on SPX. If we do get a bounce off of this area like we already trying to right now, we could probably see it trade back up into these levels or these levels of imbalance right here. This larger one or the one that we just popped off of to the downside. If we do that, then we could be taking this out just to drop further. So I don't really see any catalyst that's going to push us back up anytime soon, just especially after going through the news. Like, it's nothing really. We got FOMC guy, Bullard. He doesn't really move the market like that. And we got a holiday. The banks will have, I think that the bank holiday is, let me just make sure, it's tomorrow, but I think that it's going to actually be open until like 1 p.m., I think, but still may not be any movement tomorrow. So if you do trade, trade lightly, don't go too aggressive, because we could, it could be a dud. So if we go down from where we left from here, we come at least to our pre-pandemic high and into this order block imbalance area right here. If we push up from here, which I'm kind of 50-50 on this. So I really don't have an opinion about the indices right now because it's already really, really, really oversold. And when you're in a bear market, you can see like real hard swings to the upside just out of the blue. So before I say, anything, I at least see us going down to get this old pandemic high right here before we actually make any kind of move up. I'll send a daily chart. So you just have the levels for this. In the 4 hour, I'll just send those two. NAS looks similar. Let's go to the weekly. Now, the only difference with NAS is our pre-pandemic high is a little further away. We still got a lot of room for that before we get there. Because that's right here. February, like literally right before pandemic, we were only at 9,053. Okay. So 3.3. So weekly, we inside of this order block over here. Right now, we near the low, but we haven't breached it. So we still got a chance to hold. Let's look at the monthly really quick. There's an imbalance here, here, here. So it's a lot of imbalances that has been left behind. Don't necessarily see us going down to this pandemic high yet, but on the daily, we might want to target this low. And these two lows. That would also line up with us coming down to tag those lows on on US 30 and possibly bouncing from there. If it would be a similar move down to the downside if we came down and tapped one of these lows right here ahead of time. But again, I'm 50-50 on this. So, but I'm more so to the downside because like I said, I just haven't seen any reasoning for us to push up. So I would say these targets get taken out first. So I'm gonna send this, and the 4-hour is on NAS and US 30. Let me put the numbers too. And then SPX, similar situation. We just not close to the pandemic high yet, but we not too far off because it is within reach. We got a couple things that we would need to get to beforehand. This order block right here is gonna be one thing, but if we get to this order block, we shouldn't have no problem going into that high because it's pretty much in the middle of it. Our pre-pandemic high is right around 33. Right here. $33.98 too. Break this, we in some trouble. We in some trouble. We break this, but it's a lot of choppiness that's on a weekly. Is pretty much balanced price up and down on this. So we don't really have any key levels to consider here, but we took this low out. We took this low out, and we still got this low right here. This particular low is right at 36 flat, 3,600 even. So this will definitely probably be tapped. This will definitely be a point of interest. I'm just gonna round this off to 3,600. And then there's another little area right here that also makes sense. That's around 35.50 area. So we'll go ahead and round that one off too. That's seller side liquidity here. That's going to be where those two areas are going to be what I think we target next week, going into next week. If we go any further, we got this order block and this pandemic high. So let me squeeze this in. And like I said, if we do get a bounce, just know that we should push into this imbalance. If we keep going up, we go into this imbalance. And then after that, we would need to see what we do at 39.62, 30 and 38.50 would be the most important areas. And if we were to push up from there, then we would probably get a confirmation of a continuation. But I just don't really see much in the market right now that's giving any bullish signs. It'll just have to be something random to come through to give us a push up. I'm open to any opinions that anybody has about it. If you see some bullishness at all, drop some sevens in the chat. Let me know, because I don't see it. I don't see it. If y'all feel bullish coming, anybody feel like it's going to be a bullish market or push up at all? Give us a nice swing up. Anybody?
I think it will, because it's so low.
Because it's so low, you think some dip buying are going to come in?
Yes.
I can see that. I can see it. I can see it.
And because everybody under the sun is saying buy right now.
They're doing that though. They are doing that. But usually when I hear people say that, I think the opposite. Because I believe that they just do that just to chalk it up and run it up, I do that. So I believe that they do that so they can get their positions in, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I ain't gonna say nothing like that.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandy, I'm with you. I'm with you. So let me see. I sent you guys that. So anything you guys want to go over real quick before we hop off?
I had a quick question on NAS. So on how there's I just, because I kind of do the sessions, how Kim kind of has been showing us. So around the, I guess it's in 15 minutes. Let me see if a higher time frame would be.
I can't hear you, Lexi.
Oh, you can hear me? Is it?
It's going in and out.
Oh, okay, I'll message you.
Okay. Once it buys, then we have gaps going up. Yep. That's what's going to keep us down, Brandy. Those gaps those gaps above us. That's what's going to keep us down. Because even if it goes up, it's just going to get beat down by these imbalances. Is there an imbalance on NAS at all? Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, Lexi. So it's these two. It's actually three. Actually, it's three important imbalances on NAS. This one, from here to here. Then we have this one that I already marked, from this low to the high of this candle. Then we have one from this low to the high of this candle. So there's three important imbalances that we would have to get through in order for us to actually turn bullish. So I'll even like draw it up a little bit. There's this one. Then there's this one. Then there's this one. So each one of these is gonna essentially cause us problems. And when you see these kind of imbalances, always pay attention. Like if you looking to sell, pay attention to the low and the middle the most, because that's usually where it's going to react from. Just like this one right here, it pretty much reacted to the middle of it. Like these two wicks pushed up, rejected the middle, and then dropped. Even over here, right? There's no imbalance right here, but these highs are at the low of this order block right here. This order block right here, that's where this came from. So always pay attention to the most sensitive areas on imbalances and order blocks. You pay attention to the low and the middle. That's usually where you're going to get your move from, right? Even right here, there's an imbalance from this low to this high. Let me turn on the circle so you can make sure you following me. Okay. So this low right here, this high right here created this little imbalance. And then every time the price came up to that, we got a rejection and a continuation, and it fell. So that's the kind of things you want to look for. Yep. For a short buy. So for a short buy on NAS to the upside, we don't have any on the 4 hour. For a buy, no. Not on the 4 hour. What about on the 1 hour? Nothing on the 1 hour. No buy imbalances on the 1 hour. And then I think you mentioned 15-minute. On the 15-minute, I see one. 15-minute, I do see one. There is one here. This would be the imbalance that you want to pay attention to for a shorter buy. Or this high is here. And we could come down into this little area right here. I'll even just highlight it. For a smaller short-term buy. Us coming down into this and then buy from here. We already had that little bounce right here off of it once. Let's see why we stopped right here. If we can see that. We got it right here. We stopped right there. Here's a little order block right here. And then we have this little high right here as our buy side liquidity. And then we have this low will act as our sell side liquidity. This is the range you would want to work in for the lower time frame between this high and this low. We got a swing high here. And then we got this swing low right here. So, oops. Oh. Okay, so you can see pretty much we really working between these two highs and lows. And then we have these swings inside of this. Usually what you'll see happen is one of these get taken out. And then after that gets taken out, it'll swing in the opposite direction. So we just kind of got to watch on the lower time frame what it's telling us to do based off of the higher time frame. So if we see this low get taken out and this low get taken out, then it may leave an imbalance and just take us lower. But if we see this low get taken out here, but we don't take this one out, that could be room to say that we go and take these two highs out. That's usually a setup that I like to look for. So yeah. Yep, 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 yep. That's all it. Let me sing you guys this too. I need to start. I'm gonna start getting back more active. I know, yeah, that I just be like kind of out of it a little bit, but I've just been going through some stuff and I'm just trying to push through it all, man. Um, and get back to Corey, you know. So that's why I kind of been out away. I don't be in there dropping as much, but yeah, I'll be back all the way. So I had to be back. I had to be back. But that's why I'm just doing one call right now, because I at least want to get y'all, let y'all see what I'm thinking for the week. So
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all, bro.
what's up, bro? Dang. What's up? Happy Father's Day, brother.
Appreciate it. I've been on here for like an hour. I just been quiet and listening.
I ain't even paying attention. What's up, Pookie? Pookie? Pookie Hubbard.
Ain't nothing wrong with taking that time at all.
Yeah. Pookie. What's up, man? What's going on, Barb? That's her nickname, y'all. Pookie. Oh man. Anybody got anything else before I hop off? I recorded this, so let me if y'all don't have nothing else, I'll stop the stream and then drop the link for you. Yeah. Okay. You
Her name is bringing you pure joy.
Happy Father's Day again to all of the fathers on here. I know Chin is, my brother Divine. I don't know if Mark is. Fabian, you a dad? No? No? Your uncle, dad? If you are, happy Father's Day. Marcus, happy Father's Day. Uh-oh, not yet. Hey. About to fix that today, right? About to fix that today. I ain't mad at you, bro. Raphael, I don't know if you're a father, but happy Father's Day. If you're an uncle, whatever. Yeah, man, that was it. That's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna drop this link. Drop this link.